South Africans, we lost 2-0 to Mexico last night, and a lot of our distant African brothers, they were Mexicans last night. I mean, I came across quite a few videos where others would be like, they're Nigerians, they live in England, but yesterday they were Mexican. Others would be like, I'm a Nigerian and I live in Europe, but today I'm a Mexican. And honestly speaking, I did not come across a single one where they said, I'm a Nigerian and I come from Nigeria, as if those South Africans would be bothered. Nonetheless, I came across the most interesting part. I'll come back to it though. The most interesting part, I came across a video of Coach something. I'm really not sure of his name. And on this video, it appears as though he was asked as if he lived in South Africa, because it's as if he doesn't live in South Africa. He lives in South Africa, and he was faced with the current situation where South Africans are politely asking illegal foreigners to actually depart our country, what he would do. So he had quite few options, and you'd be surprised. The first option was if he was a neutralized citizen, which he said he was, he'd actually observe the situation and maybe come up with a decision. And then the second option was if he is an illegal immigrant, meaning a criminal, he would actually book himself for a holiday with his family, get into a bus, and he mentioned quite few of our neighboring countries, and within a week or so, when the dust has settled, he would return. I'm not sure who told him that within a week the dust would have settled, because by the look of things, the situation is actually going to intensify, and South Africans are very determined to actually prolong this. So the other option was if you depend on areas like if you lived in he said Melrose Ark, your Centurion, your Signing Hill, we would not go there because it's actually wide to live there. So if he lived in such areas, he would make sure that he's got enough food and would not come out. And I said to myself, oh, okay. So in Centurion, it's wide to live there. And I said to myself, oh, okay. I mean, we've got a family home there. Nonetheless, and the other option was if he's illegal and he's got no any other option, his last option would be to go home. And I wondered, why are they everywhere else except home? Or why would going home be the last option? And then I said to myself, why is home, I mean, the last thing or the last option for other people, yet home is one of our first option? I myself, I would pack my bags and go. I would pack my bags and go home. You know, when we say home, we pride ourselves. Even when I'm in South Africa, when I'm telling because I live in South Africa, I live in Gauteng, but and I'm originally from the Eastern Cape, but when I say that I am going home, you can tell, you know, it lightens my face that I'm going home. I mean, and now I'm coming back to this one. You look at our Bafana Bafana team, our South African team, the whole squad, they are all South African born. Let's start right there. I mean, we've got about 40 something countries that are actually participating in this FIFA World Cup 2026. There's another interesting video of our boys. I'm talking about Bafana Bafana team now. It's appearing as though there was one fan who went to their hotel where they were booked, and they came out and they started signing his t-shirt. As if that was not enough, guess what? More team members came out and they queued to sign his t-shirt. That's South Africans. So the other part that I like about South Africans is that this was their first match. They're going to play the second one. So if they win the second match, they then going to go to the next level. And if they don't win, they lose. They know they're going to return home. And they know that they're going to be welcomed home. There is no place like home, South Africans. Ooh, even on my next life, I wish to remain a South African. And in my closing, there is something I wish to address. When we South Africans say we pride ourselves, we mean it. There is a refugee camp, I think it's around your Sherwood. When these people found that place, that area, it was clean. Look at it now. I mean, what is so difficult with one eating, after eating, throwing in the dustbin? Okay, in case there are no dustbins in these areas where they are, you know, where they are put, I saw as these trucks came to deliver the food, they were in plastic, in big plastic. What is so difficult after eating, you then open these plastic. You open them, you throw inside these plastics, and then you put them tidy or put them nicely somewhere in a corner. What is so difficult? These are other issues that we have. This is not how we were raised. This is not how we behave. We want a clean environment. Seeing that there's still going to be a lot of these refugee camps, I felt the need to raise this. Please keep our environment clean. We humble ourselves before you. We really don't want this happening in our places, in our areas, in our space, in our land. Please learn to love yourselves. Perhaps you'll also be loved. You'll be accommodated. Honestly speaking, I can't live with people who behave like this. And I say this from a good space. Please, and if you see somebody else doing it, when somebody littering, please, there's nothing wrong with you saying, please do not litter. Honestly speaking, when I grew up, my granny used to tell me that you should not behave like a pig. Please, we humble ourselves before you. And all this, in my closing, it has nothing to do with hate. We love you guys. We are only trying to fix our country.